galaxy far away. Top decks clashing heroes in the fray. From Tatooine streets to the Death Star's core, we're all fighting in the Meta War.
Hey Star Wars fans, this is Darth Vader here, and you have tuned into the Meta Wars, where we will be exclusively discussing the meta in Australia. Alrighty, so just so you guys are aware, obviously this is brought to you by SWU-AUS. We're going to take some time just to let you guys know exactly what we're all about and what we're doing, and the best way to do that is through our Discord. Okay, so if you're not a member, you can click that QR code there. You can join the community. We're currently celebrating close to 450 members. We have community chats, upcoming event hub, there's results, deck text, pack pools, marketplace, you name it, it's there. It is your one-stop place for Star Wars Unlimited in Australia. And the big thing that we do over there is celebrate our members, and we're going to move right into doing that with our pools of the week. Okay, so hot pools of the week, we have in first place Marquez. For those of you who don't know, Marquez is a big part of the New Zealand community. Even though it's not quite Australia, we still like to celebrate him. He's one of our friends, he's one of our members, and he definitely deserves to be celebrated because he pulled an incredible serialized Merrin. I mean, that is just such a pretty card, and yeah, in serialized, it's obviously worth a pretty penny as well. Also, he pulled an Obi-Wan showcase. Following that, we have Joshi showcase, and his name precedes him. He pulled 2 showcases this week, and I would like to also point out that both of those were in the same night at Turn Order Games. So he had the Third Sister and the Rey. Now, I do actually believe he pulled a 3rd showcase tonight, the day after, which was a Grand Inquisitor. Now, I don't know if there is a debate for him to be moved up to first place here because of that, but yeah, I mean, does 3 showcases beat a showcase and a serialized? I don't know. That's really a discussion for all you guys to have. But yeah, in 3rd place, we also have Bryce from Victoria, who pulled a Mother Talzin showcase. And yeah, we'll go into that right now because the event he pulled it at was actually this one right here, the Winner Carbo box. Now, although Bryce didn't win that one, he came in 2nd place. He did pull the showcase. And as you can see from the graphic there, so did the winner of the event, which was Mars, pulling that beautiful Ahsoka 5 showcase. I mean, the artwork on that is just amazing. It just, in person, it looks like such a pretty card. But yeah, going into this event, look, I want to discuss it because it is one of the first big competitive events that we've had in Victoria for the new season. The Games District was where it was held. They do an amazing job, and they really support the community. So yeah, this one, Saturday 9th of August, Winner Carbo box, 20 players. Mars won the event on Sabine ECL. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Mars, you may have seen him on stream for the PQs. He has top cutted before with the Sabine deck, and he really is a talented player with that deck. He has taken down many tournaments and things like that. I mean, in 2nd place, we have Bryce, who was running Garsax and ECL, another top deck in the meta at the moment. I do know that Fletcher actually took that one with him to Galactics. And, I mean, it's such a solid list. Being able to throw those Vaders out really does make a big difference. It just wipes the board. In 3rd place, we have Linus, who was playing Boba Fett Data Vault. Now, Linus has been one to watch. He's been placing pretty highly in a lot of events across Victoria. I know he has done well in weeklies at Turn Order Games and Malvern as well. So no surprise to see him on the third place here at this Carbo event. And another player to look out for is actually Dr. Paul. So in 4th place here on Boba Fett Yellow. He's done a fantastic job as well. Again, and one of the newer players to our scene. I believe he's just kind of moved here recently. But yeah, he has absolutely been smashing it lately, and he's going to definitely be one to look out for. Alrighty, so moving into our Vic meta report. As I said, the most important thing to note here is that it is early days. Okay, so we need more data to really substantiate what the meta looks like in Victoria. But going off that event that we just saw, the biggest take home from that is Boba 4. Boba 4 is sitting there with a 20% meta share. Now, something to consider here is that it is over 3 aspects. Okay, so we have two people playing the Boba Yellow. We have one on Boba Tarkentown and one on Data Vault. Now, on the 10% meta share, we also have Sabine Wren, Palp, and Piet. Each of those having 2 players running those decks. And an interesting thing to bring up here is that 55% of the bases that we saw at this event were rare bases. So we're talking about ECL, Tarkentown, Colossus, Data Vault, and only 15% of the bases were actually Force bases. Now, the reason I bring this up is because the meta at the moment, it's been said you're either a Force deck or a Space deck. And at the moment, we're currently seeing, going off this meta result, a 35% in Space decks. However, we only have 15% of the Force bases. So take from that what you will. As I said, it is early days. This is just a very early representation of the meta in Victoria. We will have a bigger representation and a bigger scale of it when we hit the PQ next weekend, but more on that a bit later in the broadcast. Okay, so moving on to the event that everyone's been talking about, we have the Planetary Qualifier coming out of Vault Games in Brisbane. It was the same date as the Carbo Box that we saw in Victoria, and we had 40 players attending this event. So the big thing that I want to talk about here is the side events. So a big shout out to Vault Games. I believe Dylan was the person who was organizing it down there. Not only do you have the main event constructed, which is obviously the one that we see here with the results, but we also had side events with a trilogy draft, sealed, and it looks like they also hosted an RPG event as well. So again, fantastic on Vault Games for providing this for the community and making the event feel bigger. I think that's really important when an LGS does that. And hopefully it's something that we see a lot more going forward with future events at other LGSs as well. Okay, so moving on to the results here. So we have Jason on Quinlan Tarkentown. He took out the event, and this isn't his first PQ win. He is now a 2-time PQ champion, so no real surprise to see him in the first place spot here. And finalist to that was Nick, who I believe has also been a finalist previously at PQs as well. So no stranger to that. He was running the new Thorn leader. Formerly, I believe he was running the Set 1 Thorn leader. But yeah, definitely a great showing from him. Now, the only Force base that we have here in the top 8 came in 3rd place, and that was the Kit Fisto deck. Now, this one's a bit of a wild card. Kit Fisto has been a bit of a sleeper deck in the meta, as we've seen from some of the results overseas. So, look, it is a deck that it very much takes people by surprise. So I think there was definitely a surprise seeing it here. I know it's something that has been talked about quite a bit. But yeah, congratulations to Kurjon on that. Fantastic performance. Kylo Ren Tarkentown hitting 4th place. Again, super fast deck. Got a lot of new tools in Set 5. And then 5th place we have Vader Yellow. Vader Yellow is an interesting one. Still showing its dominance. I mean, a lot of people have said it's in a questionable place in the meta, especially with Talzin and a rise of Cad Bane. But yeah, obviously a very talented player. I believe his name's Chris. I could be wrong, but I believe it was going off the stream. Palpatine Yellow coming in at 6th place. Palp Yellow, fantastic deck. Definitely a a great way to play Pulp at the moment with the legacy runs. In 7th spot, we have Fletcher, who is a former PQ champion from Victoria. He was running the Kazuta Tarkentown list. Fletcher also just fresh off the Galactic Championships, coming back from Worlds. And obviously making the trek up. So fantastic showing for Fletcher, being able to, walk into a new meta in Queensland that he's not familiar in playing in, and still being able to place in the top cut. So huge shout out to Fletcher for that one. And in the 8th spot, we have Captain Rex Droid Manufactory. Now, if this isn't the biggest surprise of the meta, I don't know what is. I mean, Kit Fisto, we mentioned it earlier, it is a sleeper deck, but Rex, that is something that I really think is the biggest surprise story here. Look, that kind of brings us into our next topic, which is the Spice of the Week. Okay, so Spice of the Week, obviously we're going to go with Kurjon here for getting spot number 3 in the Queensland PQ with the Kit Fisto deck. Now look, I'm not going to go too heavy into the lists. I do know that the lists were covered by some of the other content creators overseas. I know THT covered it as well. So yeah, look, I won't go too far into it. And also we have the Rex deck here, which was piloted by Rach. Now, if you guys want to pause and screenshot or whatever, feel free. I mean, they are on the Melee. So if you want to grab the links off there and check it all out yourself, you're more than welcome to. And we will try and throw that in the description of the video as well for everybody. Okay. So off the back of that, we are going to have a look at the Queensland meta and how that's shaped up. Okay, so the Queensland PQ is where this data comes from, 40 players in that. One thing to note is that 12 of the 40 decks were actually unknown and their lists were not on the Melee. So yeah, we're going off a pretty similar sample size to the Victorian meta event that we had there with the winner box. The big difference though compared to the two metas is that we have a very balanced meta coming out of Queensland. Only 3 to 5% meta shares with all the decks, compared to Victoria, which had that high placement in the Boba 4s. Now, we do have 53% of the rare bases, compared to the 55 in Victoria. So again, that seems to be a pretty stable number across the meta. 32% in force bases, so double the amount of force bases were used in Queensland. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Queensland definitely enjoying that force mechanic a lot more. And then we have a 28% space deck category. So with space decks, obviously we're looking at things like Luke 4, Asajj 4, Han 4, Kazuta, Vader 4, all those sorts of decks that are more dominant in space. Obviously, there are some grey area there because there are decks that kind of play in both lanes. But yeah, that's generally what we're looking at with those sorts of decks. Okay, so moving along from the Queensland meta, we're going to have a little discussion about our favourite event that we like to run in the SWU-Aus Discord. Okay, so in case you guys weren't aware, every Sunday, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we have a free online Discord tournament. Now, all you need to do to join this, be a member of the Discord. All the information's there under the event tab. You just register on the Melee and off we go. So, getting back to it, on Sunday, August 10th, that was our last tournament. The winner of that tournament was Blake Moody. Now, if anyone doesn't know who Blake Moody is, you really should. He is a well-renowned player coming out of WA. He is a former PQ champion. I believe he was running Han 1 Yellow when he took that PQ championship back a couple sets ago. And on this event here, he was running the Mother Talzin Red Force deck. Now, second to him was our finalist, which is Luke Williams. Luke is probably the most renowned PQ champ in the country. He has 3 PQ mats, and he has done majority of them with the Sabine Wren deck. I do believe one of the mats he actually got running a different deck. Don't quote me on it. It might have been Ray. But yeah, Luke is a phenomenal player. I actually had a chance to play him in this tournament. And yeah, he absolutely cleaned the house with me. A very smart player. And yeah, we had a WA whitewash there. So both winner and finalist from WA. In third place, we had War Turtle. War Turtle is the founder of the SWU-Aus Discord. For anyone that doesn't know Andrew, he is a fantastic guy. He is probably one of the most giving members of the community, and I can't say enough good things about him. He's a friend, he's a mentor. We do a lot of training together, and yeah, here he was here on Cad Bane Tarkentown, which is just an incredible deck. I really enjoy that one, and yeah, it's good to see him make the third place there. In fourth, we have myself running the Ahsoka 5 Blue Force deck. Again, I can't point out enough how much fun these tournaments are. Over the 2 events that we've held so far, we've had people on main meta decks. We've had some jank decks. We've had Ray 5, Barris. There was a Han 1 Force deck of all things. There's just so many variants that we see in these tournaments. You have people that are testing new decks. You have people doing PQ practice. So yeah, it's the place to be. Players from all around the country. Doesn't matter where you are. Jump on. Let's get it done. Let's play some cards. Alrighty. So moving on to our upcoming events, we have in New South Wales the big event. Saturday, August the 16th, we have the Planetary Qualifier coming out of the Padstow RSL. It's hosted by HR Games and our friends at the Bad Batch. I am expecting Baddest Batch to stream this one. I believe they have got a link up already in the Discord for us. So once that starts tomorrow, feel free to give that a click, and you'll be sure to see some of the best players in the country going at it. No doubt the Baddest Batch boys will be there. I'm expecting a strong showing from Clint, who just recently came back from Worlds. He placed incredibly well with the Sabine ECL deck, and he's probably one of the favoured to win tomorrow. So yeah, look, I'm really excited to check this one out. We will be covering it in next week's episode of the Meta Wars. So yeah, keep tuned for that one next week. Okay, and coming out of South Australia, we actually have several store showdowns that have been announced so far. And yeah, just bear in mind that if you are on the Discord, we have all the events on there, so you can click in, have a look at the ticket links, find out where everything is. There's also weekly play events. On this podcast, we're just going to be covering the store showdowns, winner boxes, planetary qualifiers, and major events and that sort of thing. But yeah, moving on to it. So Sunday, August the 17th, Legends of Force Store Showdown at Dragon's Lair. On the same date, there's also a winner box down at Tabletop Warfare. We have a store showdown at the Hobby Cave on August 23rd. On the Sunday, 24th, there is a store showdown at Shuffled. And a planetary qualifier. So the big one is on Sunday, August 31st at Dragon's Lair. So be sure to check that out. I'll make sure that we do some coverage on that event as well, because that is going to be a big one. Okay, and moving on to our big events in Victoria coming up. So this one we're going to have to mention. It is Saturday, August 23rd, the planetary qualifier at Guff in Geelong. So I'm super excited for this one. The Geelong crew are awesome. We have a great community down in Geelong. I'm expecting to see some of the regional crew get down there. So Geelong, Bendigo, Ballarat. I'm expecting those sorts of players to be down there, because it is a bit closer than travelling all the way into Melbourne. So yeah, strong showing down there. Should be a lot of fun. We will be broadcasting that event as well on this channel, so be sure to check that out. And I will go into a bit more of the meta and people to watch and that sort of stuff next week on the episode. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. And Saturday, August the 30th, we have a store showdown at Midian Games as well. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So in closing, I know I've said it before, I'll say it again. SWU-AUSTRALIA Discord is the place to be. It is your one-stop shop for all things Star Wars Unlimited in Australia. If you're not there, get there, click the QR code, and, you know, like and subscribe us on the socials. You know what to do. I don't need to keep plugging that. So anyway, guys, I will be back next week with another meta report. You know, keep it up. Let's have some fun and shuffle.